جبت ما تسمي ارتاح لك احط لك عليه وهحط
finish.
يا جماعة سايبين المايكات مفتوحة، يا ريت تقفلوها بليز.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening هناء.
Can you hear me? Hi Ariel, how are you?
I'm fine, how about you?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Miss Mariam, Miss Noha, Amal, I think. Miss Julia, Miss Hoda, and Miss Nabila. Good evening and welcome back. Really happy to see you again, all of you. Today, inshallah, we start our third year in our training in TTP. And inshallah we will start our first tag inshallah. So good evening Nabila. Okay, so let's start at once. I'll share the screen. Okay, so can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. Okay, so today, inshallah, we will start our first tag in our training in TTB, National Teacher Training Program. And as you know, it's a training initiated by British Council and the Ministry of Education, and this is the third year. So let's start at once. Here I have just simple warm-up activity that is called a more than a number. And here I have 3 numbers, and I'd like you to guess what's the right question to ask to have these numbers as answers. Can you guess? If you don't want to speak, you can type in the chat box. Good evening, Ms. Noha. So again, here we have a simple activity, a more than a number. We have 3 numbers, and you will guess the right question to ask here. So the first number is 1987. Can you guess what's the right question to ask here? Hi, Raghda. Okay, is my voice? Hello? Okay, can you hear me? Miss you too. Thank you, Raghda. Welcome back. So again, here I have an activity. I am more than a number. We have 3 numbers, 1987, 2, and 33. So guess the right question to ask. Number 1. Great.
The first number, when were you born?
When were you born? Yes. When were you born? So 1987. This is the first question. Yes. And, okay. 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 So again, yes, that's right, Nabila. And if you have another question, you can say it. Number 1, 1987. Can you guess the right question here? What's the question of this answer? Nabila said a question which is when were you born? Yes, that's right. Okay. Let's move to the second number, is 2. So can you guess the right question here? I need a question that has this answer, number 2. So what's the right question here to ask? We have when did you start your? Okay, who wrote this question? Because it's the phone, not the name. Who wrote this question? When did you start your career? In fact, I don't know who wrote this question. When did you start your career? Yeah, 2 years ago. Okay. How many kids do you have? Yes, Aliya. How many kids do you have? Yes. Raghda, how many sisters do you have? Yes, great questions. Yeah, that's right. How many kids do you have? How many sisters do you have? When did you start your career? But I don't know who asked this question, who wrote this question. Yes, thanks a lot for your questions. Okay, the last number here is 33. What do you think? What's the right question here to ask? 33.
How old are you?
Yes, I think Tuta. Am I right?
No, I'm Alia.
Alia,
I think it's how old are you?
yes, how old are you? Yes, thank you, Alia, and thank you, Raghda. Yes, how old are you? It's a simple activity that you can do it in your classroom to revise how to form questions, WH questions, using numbers, okay? So here you can revise question words like how old, how many, when, how long, and so on. Okay, so let's start our tag today. I'm so happy to start the first tag today. In our tag today, we will discuss these points. We will know about inductive and deductive approaches and what's the difference between them. This is number one. We will have some points about the different approaches and the benefits and the drawbacks of these approaches, advantages and disadvantages, and how can we relate these approaches to our teaching context. I mean, in our classroom, okay? Okay, so this is what we will discuss today. So let's start at once. I'll share the screen again. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with teaching approaches. Throughout history, in fact, we have four main teaching approaches. And I'd like you to guess what are these teaching approaches. Can you guess? Here we have the first letter in each word. Can you guess what's the first approach?
Communicative approach or lingual approach?
Yes. Amal?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Amal. Yes, she said two approaches, audiolingual approach and communicative language teaching approach, but we still have another two, Amal. Can you guess the first one? Can you guess the first one? It has two words. The first one begins with G, and the second one begins with the letter T.
دي خايفة عشان عندها عين واحدة.
Can you guess the first approach? It's easy. It has two words. The first one begins with the letter G and the second one begins with the letter T. Any try? Can you guess the first approach? Okay, in fact, it's...
I think it's first.
Yes? Okay, I'm so sorry because I have something wrong here. I'll share it again, okay? So the first one is... Okay, can you guess the second one? Okay. I can't maximize the screen. I don't know why. Here we have the 4 different approaches to teaching English. Number 1, grammar translation. Number 2, direct method. Number 3, audiolingual. And number 4, communicative language teaching. And here they are in the right order according to the appearance. I mean that grammar translation is the oldest one. Okay, so again, here we have 4 teaching approaches. They are in the right order according to appearance. The first one is grammar translation. The second one is direct method or natural method. The third one is audiolingual. And the fourth one is communicative language teaching. Okay, so here we will know what is the meaning of these teaching approaches or the theory behind each approach. Okay, so I'll try to maximize. Yes, it works. Okay, so here I ordered them according to the appearance of each method. Okay, now you will I'm trying to. Okay, so can you guess the first one? The theory behind this method is that learning a language means learning habits. So students hear and drill, repeat the language many times, and I teach them the, wait a minute. Okay, so I'll teach them the spoken form before the written form, and here students just mimic. Mimic means imitate, repeat, and drill. Okay, memorize set phrases and grammar, grammar structure, and grammar here is not explained. Language is learned in a context, and I give them audio recording and visual to explain. And I give them immediately the feedback. I give them the feedback immediately. Can you guess which method is it? Can you guess what is the method here or the approach? It's one of the 4 approaches. I'm not sure, can you hear me? Okay, is my voice clear? Okay, I repeat the question. Okay, Raghda. Here I have the definition of one of the approaches. We talked about 4 approaches: communicative teaching approach, and audiolingual, direct, and grammar translation. Okay, so which one here I'm talking about in number 1? I give my students the spoken form of the language before the written one. The students all of the time imitate, drill, and memorize. I don't explain grammar. Language is learned in a context, and I ask students to listen, and I give them visuals, and I give them immediate feedback. Can you, which approach is it?
Audiolingual?
Yes. Thank you, Amal. It's audiolingual. This is number 1. Okay. Thank you, Amal. Yes. This is number 1. I'm so sorry I stopped sharing because okay, so this is the audiolingual method. Let's move to, yes, that's right. So let's move to another one. The theory behind this method is that second language learning is similar to how we learn our first language, the mother tongue. The focus is on oral interaction, We have no translation, of course, little or no focus on grammar rules. And here I teach the target language, and the learners are not allowed to use their first language or the first tongue. Here I teach vocabulary through pictures, objects, and association. Can you guess? What's
Translation method? Translation?
No, try again, Amal. No translation, and the students are not allowed to use their mother tongue or their first language. Can you guess? Miss Safa, I'll try to raise my voice. Yes, direct, yeah. So can you guess what's the method here? No translation. You learn the second language as we learn the first language. You are not allowed to use the first language or the mother tongue. We have an answer here.
Direct. Direct?
Yes, Amal. I'm so sorry, Amal. I have to mute you because of the noise. Yes, it's direct method or natural method. This is number 2. Thank you, Amal. Yes, great work. Thank you. Okay, let's move to number 3. So the first one is audiolingual, and the second one is the direct or the natural method. Yes. So I learn the second language as I acquire the first language or the mother tongue. So this is the direct method or the natural method. Okay, let's try number 3. This method focuses on helping learner to communicate well and using real life situations. Okay, and we will focus on all skills, grammar and vocabulary. We will use the language in a practical and functional way. Functional means to use it in the real life, okay? To communicate meaning.
Communicative. Yes. Communicative method.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Amal. It's a communicative method. Excellent, Amal. Thank you. Great work. Okay. This is number 3, okay? So it's communicative language teaching. And the last one, learning a language was associated with learning Latin and Greek. Latin and Greek here mean the first language or the mother tongue. Learners analyze grammar, translate sentences from the mother tongue into the target language. And here we have no focus on ability, the oral skills.
Translation.
Welcome back to it. Okay, so yes, it's the translation, grammar translation. Yes, thank you, Amal. Great work. In fact, I know you love the methodology.
Yes, it's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay, so great work, Amal. It's grammar translation method. So these are the 4 approaches to teaching and what's the meaning of each approach. Okay, of course, we have some inductive and deductive ways to learn. Okay, but before explaining that, I'd like to know if you have any idea about the inductive and deductive ways to learning. Can you tell me what they mean? What do they mean?
To let the students help you.
Yes, Teresa?
Deduct the grammar. They guess what is the grammar through examples. Or in very clear way, you just explain the grammar and have the exercise later.
Yes, so I explain the grammar, then I have exercises later. This is inductive or deductive?
I think inductive,
So again,
deduct
deductive.
to give.
Yes. Yes, Teresa, go ahead. Teresa.
With you, I am listening.
Okay. So here Teresa said one of them
Miss
is
Hannah, one of them give a rule
yes.
and the students repeat.
Yeah.
Then give examples.
Yes.
And another give examples and students use the rules.
Exactly. So which one is deductive and which one is inductive?
I can't remind.
Both of you are right. Yes. Miss Noha. No, I can't hear you, Miss Noha. Okay. So Miss Teresa and Miss Amal, yes, you said the explanation of both of them. But I'd like you also to guess what I'm talking about, or what is the meaning of inductive and deductive way to learn through an example. I'll show you. I'll stop sharing the screen because I don't know why I couldn't maximize the screen. Okay, so here I have a picture of, okay, let's have a look here. We have two pictures, and now I am a teacher, and I'll try to explain present perfect continuous in two ways, and try to guess which one is inductive and which one is deductive. Okay, so let's start. Here I have two pictures, okay? I'll ask you as if as a teacher, and you are my learners, and try to answer my questions, okay? So let's try the first one, okay? So hello everyone. Today we have a great lesson, and I'd like you to look at these two pictures. In picture number 1 on the right, what time is it? In picture number 1 on the right, what time is it?
4 o'clock.
Yes, great. It's 4 o'clock. And look at the man. What is he doing?
On the right,
Yes, on the right.
he's looking at his watch.
No, he is looking at his watch as if he is
Waiting.
Yes, he is waiting. Yes, maybe for someone. So it's 4 o'clock and he is waiting. Let's move to the second picture on the left. What time is it?
4:20.
It's 4.
4:20.
4:20. That's right. Yes. And look again to the man. What is he doing?
He's looking at his watch.
Yes, he is looking at his watch because he is.
Waiting.
Yes,
He is waiting.
again. Yes. So he is still waiting. Am I right?
Okay.
Yes. And the time has passed. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. How
Yes.
much time has passed?
20 minutes.
Yeah. So 20 minutes has passed. So time has passed, but still the man is waiting. So who can tell me what has he been doing for 20 minutes? What has he been doing for 20 minutes?
He has
He is
been
looking
waiting.
He's looking at his watch.
Yeah, that's right. He is looking at his watch. He is still waiting. The action
He
is-
has been waiting.
Yeah, that's right. So what has he been doing for 20 minutes?
He
He's
has
looking
been
at his
waiting.
watch.
Excellent. I can hear the right answer. He has been waiting. He has been waiting for 20 minutes. He has been waiting for 20 minutes. Why I say that? Because time has passed and the action is continuous. The man
Still in continuous, yes.
yeah, that's right. The action is continuous because the man is still waiting. Okay. So here, has the action finished?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yes. Has the time passed?
Yes.
Yes. How much time?
20
20
minutes.
20 minutes. Excellent. So here the man has been waiting for 20 minutes. Okay. So this is way number 1. Okay. Remember where?
Deduct.
Yes.
Deduct.
Okay. Let's try the second way and try to guess. Okay. So this is the second way. Let's start.
Try to deduct.
Yes. So also I am the teacher and you are the students. Okay. So hello everyone. Today we will have a lesson about
The present perfect
Present
continuous.
the rule.
perfect continuous. Look at picture number 1. It's 4 o'clock and the man is waiting. Look at picture number 2. It's 4:20 and the man is waiting. So the man is still waiting after 20 minutes. So here the time has passed and the man is still waiting. So the action is continuous. So the man has been waiting for 20 minutes. So he is still waiting. 20 minutes has passed. So the man has been waiting for 20 minutes. And this is the present perfect continuous. Okay. So this is way number 2. Okay. So can you tell me number 1 is inductive or deductive?
Inductive.
Excellent.
Inductive.
كل ما بقول deductive بتضحك يبقى أكيد inductive.
Number 1 is inductive and number 2 is
Number 2 is deductive.
Deductive.
deductive. Excellent. Great.
بالرغم إن deduct معناها يعني to conclude يعني to guess.
Yeah, but inductive, in fact, when you share your students while explaining the grammar. Because in the
Okay.
second way, yes, I do that myself. I didn't ask my students.
Does it have a synonym?
Doesn't have
Does it have a synonym
synonym?
to relate its meaning?
Yes.
To memorize its
Yeah,
meaning?
that's right. Yes, inductive because it's in. So it's all about.
Induce.
Yeah, it's all about the learner. Inductive.
Yeah.
It's all about the learner. Okay. But deductive.
Examine.
Yes, deductive, it's all about the teacher. It's a teacher-led.
Theory.
Yes,
Explaining a theory.
yeah,
Yes.
that's right. So deductive, it's all about the teacher. It's a teacher-led or teacher-centered. But inductive, it's a teacher-centered.
Student center.
Yes, that's right. Excellent. Great work. Thank you, Teresa. So this is the difference between deductive and inductive. I check the chat box. Yes. Okay. Miss Noha, I'm not sure you try to speak, but I can't hear you in fact. Okay, so this is the difference between deductive and inductive, okay, while teaching grammar, okay, through this.
Both of them to teach grammar.
Yes, that's right, yes. Okay, so let's complete. Here we have more explanation of the difference between deductive and inductive, okay? So can you read the sentences here and decide which one is inductive and which one is deductive? Okay, number 1.
أول واحدة deductive.
Involving learners inductive اللي هي تاني واحدة.
Yeah, that's right.
أول واحدة deductive. Number 1 deductive. Number 2 inductive.
Excellent, great work. Thank you.
Involving.
Yeah, because in the first one, it's a teacher center.
Number 1 teacher center. Number 2 student center.
Yeah, that's right. So the first one is deductive and the second one is inductive. And we have some points here. The deductive, it's suitable for the lower level learners because here, yes, the students depend on the teacher The teacher will tell me the rule and he will help me to practice the grammatical structure. But in the second one, yes, in the second one, it's all about the learner. Yes, that's right. And here the learner discover language, work out the meaning, and try to work out the rule and the meaning of the grammatical structure. So again, the first one is deductive. The second approach here is inductive. Okay? Okay. Let's move to another point here. Again, try to guess which one is deductive and which one is inductive.
Teacher-led.
Yes, when I say it's a teacher-led, it's deductive.
Deductive.
Perfect.
هي محلولة.
Yeah, because I couldn't maximize the. Yes. Okay. So yes, the first one, teacher-led, it's deductive, and the second one, it's inductive. Because
Inductive اللي هو learning focus.
Yeah, that's
Learner
right.
focus.
Yeah. And the students work out the rules themselves. Okay. And I can say it's implicit learning. Implicit learning means indirect way.
Indirect.
Yeah, not a clear way, because I give my students a chance to discover the language or work out the rule or the meaning. But on the other hand, the deductive approach is explicit learning or teaching, clear way, because in the very beginning, I give you the rule. For example, today we will have a lesson about the past simple. When we form the verb, we add D and ED to the verb if it is a regular verb. So here it's explicit, clear. So it's deductive learning. It's a teacher-led, and here the students don't have a chance to discover the language or work out the meaning of the grammatical rule, okay? Here we have some expression that we use while teaching using the inductive way. For example, I ask, is this correct or not? So here I elicit the answer from my students. I check their understanding. Why did you use that tense? Because, for example, the action finished, the action hasn't finished yet, for example. Is this formal or informal? Check with your partner. So here the learner is active and the teacher elicits the answer from his learners, okay? This is for deductive and inductive approaches, okay, to learning. Okay, here we have some terms and I'd like you to share with me whether the terms are typical of inductive or deductive. Let's start number one. Learner centered. What do you think?
Inductive.
Yes, thank you, Amal. It's inductive. Let's try another one. Teacher dependent. Sorry.
Deductive.
Deductive, yeah. Because here the learner depends on the teacher. I want to work out the meaning and the teacher give me the rule. Okay? Problem solving.
Inductive.
Perfect. Yes. Inductive, of course. Passive. The learners are passive.
Deductive.
Yes. Deductive. They are not active, in fact. So this is deductive. What about rules first?
Deductive.
Yes, deductive. Subconscious. Subconscious means not clear enough. So I give my students to discover and work out.
Inductive.
Yes, implicit. Yes, implicit learning. Yes. What about conscious?
Deductive.
Deductive, because it's explicit learning. Yes. Active. The students are active.
And inductive.
Inductive. Perfect. That's right. Excellent. Okay, I'll check the chat box. Yes, Miss Noha. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this is for the deductive and inductive